If you guys want people to like your Instagram post and think of you as a good skier, then it's way better to have good style than to do hard tricks. And even better if you can do both. Here's 5 simple things that all the pro skiers do to improve their style. Let's get into it. Before I share all 5 of these secrets with you guys, I just want to note that the most famous skier usually isn't the most skilled or the most technical. The majority of people that view skiing, snowboarding, action sports in general are for the most part casuals in the sport. They're interested in learning new tricks, they're interested in getting better, but they're not trying to be the best in the world. And that's why it's a lot easier for the average viewer to appreciate an easier trick done super well than a hard trick done with no style at all. It's all about marketing, baby, and if you want to be a good skier with good style, this is what you need. The very first simple thing that all pro skiers do to improve their style is clothing and gear. Dubbers, that's obvious, we know that. And yeah, it is obvious, but not for the reasons that you guys expect. We've all seen Jerry's on the ski dressed in kits like this, and no matter what tricks they're doing, it's just not gonna look good, and we're not gonna like it. You could be doing quad corks, but if you're wearing that, no go. And obviously style changes over time. We've had different eras of freestyle skiing, and everybody has their own personal preferences on what to wear. However, as in all things style related, just keeping up with the times is gonna be huge for you. Skiing style changes over time, and you're allowed to have your own personal opinion. But if you wanna improve the conceived style that you have, you need to keep up with the era of skiing. Now in terms of just gear and clothing and the actual specs, if you have good skis, the right size poles, the right length, longer poles tend to look a little bit better than shorter poles. Gloves usually look a little bit better when you're riding the middens. Just little things like that. Obviously not having a goggle gap between your helmet and your goggles. Having the right gear will make you look like a more stylish skier. Not just the right type, but also the right gear, making sure it's appropriate for who you are as an individual. Not having short skis that are up to your nipples, it's gonna look a little weird. Having park skis that are the appropriate length will make you look more stylish. A little bit longer usually equals a little bit more style. And in terms of clothing, snow pants, hoodie, all that stuff, the baggier the better. It's always kind of been the motto. Everybody wants baggier snow pants. Baggier snow pants aren't just gonna help their style because that's what's cool right now. They're also gonna help cover up a lot of the little mistakes and indiscrepancies you have in your skiing. We can all agree that landing our trick with our feet super far apart, like a wide tripod stance, is not gonna look as good as if you land feet together super stomped. Baggier pants are gonna cover that up. You can land with your feet slightly separated apart with baggier pants, and no one's gonna know because the bagginess of the pants is gonna cover it up. Another thing we can all agree on is landing super stiff, super tall is not really the look we're going for, so having baggier pants will also help cover that up as well. Whether you like it or not, your clothing and your gear will make a difference on your style. Not your skiing, not your tricks, not your abilities, but your style will be affected based on what you wear. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just quickly, I hope you guys are having a blast enjoying this kind of educational content. I love putting it out for you guys. If you guys want to support the YouTube channel, you can do so with memberships. We have 2 membership tiers. One is Giblets. It's gonna be like extra vlogs, all this kind of stuff, some behind the scene things, some giveaways, all that good stuff. And then we have the Slope Academy one, which are gonna be more exclusive videos like this one here, teaching you guys how to grow on social media as skiers, how to make money as skiers. And then we also have like workout programs, obviously tons of trick tutorials and stuff like that that are exclusive on the Slope Academy membership. If you guys want to support the channel, that's how you do it. And I really appreciate it. Tons more videos coming soon. Deuces. All right, number 2 that all professional skiers do to improve their style. This is a big one, and it might seem kind of redundant, but it's developing your own personal style. Almost all skiers and snowboarders, when we first start out, don't really have our own personal style. We're kind of just going through the motions, and we haven't really refined what we are and what we want to look like when we ride or as a skier / snowboarder. So there's many different ways that you can refine your own personal style, develop your own personal style. But one thing that all the pros do is that they're constantly looking at the tricks that they're doing, breaking them down and criticizing themselves. When you first begin your park skiing journey, you're not getting as many clips of you skiing as you will when you're farther down in your career. And this simply means you don't get to see yourself skiing that much. There's literally been millions of times where I thought I did a trick that looked super sick, and I'll go watch the video and I'm like, oh my God, that was not at all what I wanted it to look like, not at all what I thought it was gonna look like, and it looks really bad. Or it's the opposite way around, and I do a trick and I'm like, that was pretty bad, I did not like that, and I'll go look at the video and I'll be like, oh, that was good. I do kind of like the way I did this. I do kind of like this idea behind it. Maybe I'll do a nollie off the rail and I'll like think it was really, really sick, and then I'll go back and look at the video and be like, never again. Never again. So watching your skiing and the tricks that you're doing and criticizing it and analyzing it to decide what you like, what you don't like is gonna play a huge, huge part in developing your style. And this goes hand in hand with emulating some of your favorite skiers. We all have different skiers that have different styles of skiing that we personally like. Henrik Harlow, he's got more of an afterbang, you know, baggy pants style, like heavy landings, all that stuff, nose butters, etc. And then over here we have like the bunch where we're doing a bunch of swivels down the mountain, we're doing a bunch of nose presses and nollies and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter what style you prefer, that's up to you. But criticizing your own skiing and emulating the styles of skiing that you enjoy is how you develop your own personal style. And as you grow as a park skier, you'll find the happy place between the skiers you look up to and what makes you unique. And you use what we just talked about to bring that to life and a lot of skiing. Number 3, how you're gonna improve your style with speed and skiing ability. As park skiers, we can all agree this is one of the most stylish edits and one of the best edits that we've seen put out in a long time. And if you haven't watched this edit start to finish, I highly recommend it. The link is down below. It's pure gold and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So when it comes to doing tricks, we can all agree that doing them with more speed and more fluidity is gonna look better. If I'm just crawling into a rail, doesn't necessarily look good. If I'm just clearing the knuckle on a jump, doesn't necessarily look good. If I'm doing a million speed checks coming into a feature, doesn't necessarily look good. So improving your overall skiing ability, it's gonna allow you to look more confident coming into features, whether it's rails or jumps, and it's gonna allow you to take tricks deeper and farther down landings, which we can all also agree does look way better. Looking comfortable and confident on your skis while being able to hit features with a lot of speed and still do tricks is always gonna look better than somebody who's doing the same tricks coming into a feature, looking timid and slow and not necessarily as confident. All right, number 4 is super important. I actually made an entire video on this because it's getting out of hand. And it's just simply controlling your arms or your other various limbs, because skiing, your feet aren't necessarily glued together like a snowboard, but you really need to control your arms. Whether it's on the in-run, whether it's on tricks, whether it's on the landing, control your arm. Let's say you're a beginner skier and you're doing your first 360 or 720. If you do your 360 and 720 and your arms are up here like this and you're rotating them all around just to try to get the rotation around, it simply does not look good. And this even goes up levels. Let's say I'm grabbing like a mute grab in my dub 12 and I'm pulling on my ski, but my other arm's waving up here and I'm like using it like over my head to try to get back to my feet on axis. It does not look good. If I'm doing a double of any sorts and both of my arms are underneath my legs, like knee tucking like this, it's gonna look a lot worse than if I'm just grabbing and I have my shoulder open, spotting where I'm going throughout the trick. Guys, it's all in the details. And controlling your arms isn't just in the air or on rails when you're trying to do switch ups and your arms are like waving around trying to swap over the other side, or you're doing a front 6 out and you have to like, reach all the way around just to get around. It's also on landings. And the afterbang community that I made the whole video about, you guys can go check it out after this, is awful. And I'm also part of the problem, and I'm working to fix it by analyzing my clips like we said, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, and reviewing it. If you really like landing like that and going like this, by all means, go for it. That's your style. But my personal opinion, and I think the majority of people's opinion, is a little bit much. We don't necessarily want to overcompensate our movements for our tricks. If we can do it with as little effort as possible, make it look as relaxed and in control as possible, it's generally gonna make it look easier and more stylish. And last but not least, one of the most important things you can do to improve your style in skiing, everybody does this, all the pros do this, this is why they are pros. It's adding flair to the basics. I'm sure we've all seen somebody do their very first K-Fed, and I'm sure we can agree a K-Fed that looks like this is a million times better. They're the exact same trick. People are just adding their own flair, whether it's a shifty in the middle, whether it's a nollie off the rail, whether it's a tail tap, the devil is in the details. You can go straight into a jump and do a cork 7 safety, or you can carve, pole plant, grab blunt, tweak it, and then shifty back to forwards and land it with your feet together. And the difference between the two tricks is huge. Technically, it's more or less the same trick. However, the flair to the basic tricks is what sets it over the edge. People are even adding their own unique flair, grabs, and tweaks to bigger tricks now. Not even just the basic singles, doubles, but triples and more. And finding out how to add your own flair from your easiest tricks to your hardest tricks is gonna be what sets you apart from the rest of your friends. Now, how do I do this? How do I add my own, how do I think outside the box? How do I get creative? How do I add this flair? In reality, it's more simple than you think. The better you get at the trick, the more comfortable you're gonna be doing the trick, and the more room to be creative and add the things that you've seen in videos that you like, or maybe something you came up with completely on your own into that trick is gonna be a million times easier. The reason why I saved this one for last is because it's very hard to add your own flair to tricks you've just learned. So take the time to improve your style in all the other areas, master the tricks that you're working on that you can do, and then begin to add your own flair to make them really, really stand out and blow people away. Use all 5 of these hacks to improve your style. Deuces.